Today's tutorial is inspired by my pink neon skull makeup from 7 years ago. I'm on a one-woman mission to revive 2017 makeup, so show your support, give me a like, and let me know what you think in the comments. It is my dream to see this style neon skull in every color. I really hope it gets trendy again this year. And don't forget to subscribe, I would really appreciate it. Half skull makeup looks are all about contrast, but the non-skull side of my face is not the focus of this video, so I'm gonna just go through it quickly. For this look, I'm going for a really warm, earthy vibe, so I'm starting with a smoky brown eyeliner. I have been loving this style of eye makeup lately though, so let me know if you would want a full tutorial. I'm using eyeshadows from the Lethal Cosmetics Mellow Grove palette. I feel like the color story was just perfect for this look. It has a touch of green to go along with the neon without being like super bright neon green. I wanted the brightness of the skull to really pop, which is why I didn't add any neon green to the eye. Overall, I'm mostly using warmer hues to really make this side of my face look very full of life. A lot of blush, a generous amount of bronzer. I used many different products on my cheeks, all of which I will list down below, but I do want to mention my favorite blush, which is called Rose from Mercier. It came out really cute. Again, let me know if you want a tutorial on this style of eye makeup, but for now, let's get on to the fun part, the skull makeup. Just getting started by covering my eyebrow. Because I'm going to be using colored face paint type products for this look, I don't have to spend a ton of time trying to camouflage my eyebrow. I'm just doing one layer of concealer, and I'm also adding concealer on top of any hyperpigmented areas just to even out my skin tone and cover up my lips as well. For this makeup, I'm approaching it like a painting with layers. I really wanted to just let my creativity flow with this one. First, I'm using white foundation. This is Face Base from Indibeat Cosmetics. I'm not really applying it in any particular way, just kind of trying to get cool shots for the Instagram video, but it does sort of seem like I'm applying it in the shape of the design. It's not really necessary. I'm just avoiding the areas that I know are going to be super dark, like, you know, my eye and the hollow of my cheek. Those are negative space areas of the skull, so I'm just avoiding those areas and applying the white pretty much everywhere else. And here's where I'm actually starting to flesh out the design. I'm using a green colored eyeshadow primer. This is from Louise. But yeah, I'm just creating the lines for the bones. My advice for this is to look at some pictures of real skulls, look at pictures of skull makeup, and you can just copy someone else's kind of line work design, or you can just freestyle it like me and do what feels right to you. Aside from the outlines of the bones, I'm also adding green within those shapes. With bones, you want there to be varying shades because that creates the illusion of texture on the surface rather than just smooth shapes if you don't add any shading within the bones and you just kind of shade around the outlines. For this process, I do use my reference images. Like I said, I recommend having a couple pictures of real human skulls on hand just to glance at to kind of get an idea. But of course, like all artwork, it is intuitive, so I'm just adding shading where I feel like it fits and looks good with my design, but that could of course be different for you or anybody else doing this makeup. I'm buffing out all the primer not just to add shading, but also because I need a nice even base. It doesn't have to be perfectly blended, but it does have to be like smooth. There can't be any chunks of primer because I want to go over top with some powder products. Now is the time to go in with my neon green pigment, and I cannot tell you where I got this. It was definitely back in 2019. It was when like everyone and their mom needed a stack of neon pigments. I do think theoretically you could substitute with like a bright green eyeshadow, but I do not think that it would pop in quite the same way. I rarely reach for my neon pigments, but I needed to for this look because I really wanted it to have that super bright, in your face, vivid, neon, glowing effect. I wanted it to look like it was glowing, just like my original neon skull look. For that, back in the day, I used a Suva beauty liner. They were like water-activated neon paints, so you can use any neon product you have, but bright green will do in a pinch and it'll still look cool. Now that I have that striking neon glowing base, I am gonna go in and start adding the shading, and for that I'm using eyeshadows from the Blend Bunny Ellis palette. I know it kind of looks like I added that neon green all over, but neon pigments are very, very reflective. With my lighting setup, the camera's not going to pick up on those varying tones of where I added more or less pigment, but I did kind of avoid adding it in areas that I knew were going to be very highlighted areas, or areas that I knew were going to have a lot of shading. That's why it's important to use the green eye primer to really map out the design so you're aware which areas are going to be lighter versus darker. And then you can concentrate the neon green pigment in those areas in between, which are like technically the midtones. I'm using this dark green to start building up the shadows, so of course defining the teeth and the perimeter of the bones, but I'm also adding shading within the shapes of the bones to give that illusion of texture along the surface. You can be a bit random with this part because no human skull is the same. It's a great opportunity to exercise your intuition and have fun with it. That's what I kept telling myself while I was doing this, which is why it's not super structured. I'm just kind of going in and feeling it out. At this point, I'm starting to go back and forth a bit with the neon pigment and the eyeshadow because I want to really get that nice balance of neon and shading. I'm really taking the opportunity to finalize my design since the next steps involve liquid products. Like, now's my last chance to really mess with it before shit gets serious. Recently, I've been loving this liquid black product. It's called Eclipse Shadow Potion from Karla Cosmetics. It's the perfect consistency for crisp lines, so I'm using it to really define those edges around the bones. After adding in those first lines, I'm blending the black out from the edge. So with my eye, I'm blending it out towards the center. I didn't want to completely black out my eye. I'm adding that shading to all of the darker areas, so my temple and underneath my cheekbone mostly. Just like with my eye, I'm not completely blacking out these areas, I'm blending outwards from the line. I may have procrastinated a little bit, but I'm finally adding in my nose. It's the only open shadow that's split in half, so it's a bit of a tricky area. I was kind of worried I wouldn't like how it looked, so I wanted to fill it in with green and just make sure that I was pleased with that aspect of the design before moving on. It looks freaking awesome, so we're all good. The black shadow potion can actually also be used as a matte liquid lipstick, so it's perfect for defining the teeth. Teeth can be tricky because you don't want them to smudge, so you want to make sure it's a product that will dry down. I would suggest any smudge-proof and waterproof liquid eyeliner or liquid lipstick. I needed it to be more irregular, so I went back in with eyeshadow in some parts. I actually had to go back in with eyeshadow all over the place, a few shadows to add in, like the ridge around the edge of the nose, and then just deepening the existing shadows that I already had. Once you add the black, it's easier to go in and be more heavy-handed with the shading because you want to really get that contrast. Of course, I am also trying to achieve maximum bright neon, so I am adding even more neon green pigment. I want my eyes to be glowing from the center, so after applying Urban Decay's eyeshadow primer, I'm adding a dark green throughout my crease and bringing that up to the black. Then packing my lid with the neon green pigment. When I add in the white contact lens later on, it all comes together and just pops and looks amazing. I have to fix up the other shadows on my face, so first I'm just blending out that side shadow into my hairline using green. And then moving down to my jaw, I needed to add a lot more shading over here, and it can be a little bit tough, but making a double chin is very helpful for this step, trust me. Finally, I'm done with the pigments and eyeshadows. I'm adding in the highlights with water activated paint from Macaron. I mixed up a light green color to use. I find sometimes when I'm working with water activated paint and I layer it on top of a powder product, the pigment kind of seeps through and darkens the paint once it dries down. So you might want to go in with a bit of a lighter shade than you'd expect because it could dry down darker. For the process of highlighting, with my design I already have areas that are brighter and appear to come forward because of all the shading that I added, so I'm just using this light green to really highlight those spots and emphasize the texture on the bones. I am mostly using an eyeliner brush to apply this, but with some of the bigger areas of highlight, I just use a fluffy brush to soften the edge. It can definitely be difficult to blend water activated paint. You kind of have to find a sweet spot where it's not too wet but not too dry. Towards the center of my face where the green meets my regular foundation on the other side, I decided it would be best to use white eyeshadow to really smooth out that transition. The white works really well for me because I'm so pale, but if you're not a ghost like me and you have more pigmentation to your skin, you can use setting powder to help blur the green into your skin color. Anyways, back to this water activated paint. I'm pretty much outlining most of the shapes with highlights to indicate the ridge at the edge of each bone. Even if it's not completely anatomically correct, I think it still gives it a more realistic vibe. So let me give you guys a quick pro tip. You might drive yourself insane doing skull makeup if you don't set the intention in the beginning to not go crazy over complicating the teeth. Unless you have a lot of time and a lot of energy, I just recommend simplifying it. I am that person that'll fixate for hours, so I have to remind myself every time I'm doing a skull look to set my intentions for the teeth, tell myself to keep it simple because I don't want to obsess for hours over every little curve. It looks just as cool and it's 10 times easier if you simplify them into lines. Once I'm done with the light green highlights, I'm going in with pure white to add in the finishing touches of the final brightest highlights. This is definitely the most satisfying part. With the final highlights, the neon glow illusion comes together and becomes magical. It's been like 7 hours since I started my makeup, so the other half of my face desperately needs to be freshened up a bit. After prepping my lips with concealer, I'm adding translucent powder, blush, contour, eyeliner, fixing up the spots that got a little crusty. My mission is to make this half of my mouth look extremely plump and juicy. I'm starting with Colourpop's Dopey lip liner, then darkening it with a deep brown lip liner. This one is from Milk Cosmetics. It's called Edible and it is no longer available. They have a similar one called Caffeine, which I normally use, but I think it was in my purse because I couldn't find it when I was filming this. I want my lips to be a somewhat natural color, but still like a bright pink that will complement the green, so I'm going with Westie Matte Lippie Stick from Colourpop. They're called lippie sticks, but I don't know if I'm supposed to refer to a single one as a lippie stick. Let me know if you have an opinion on that because I'm actually really curious and I think about it every single time I use one of these. I'm dabbing on a little bit of concealer to lighten the center, which highlights the lips and makes them look bigger. Of course, we've also got to make them juicy. I'm using this gorgeous gloss from Flower Nose. It's called Strawberry Macaron. Quickly back to the skull because my last step is putting in the contact lens and finishing up this eye. This is a Storm White lens from the brand Kazzue. As always, I link where I buy them down below in my description. I'm applying the same pastel mint color gel eyeliner that I used on the other side. It's called Icebreaker from Colourpop. Then I added a bit of clear mascara to my lashes as a base for some neon green pigment. It's really subtle, but it adds to that glowing effect from the eye, and I'm really just a sucker for the small details. Here we have the finished look. It came out exactly how I envisioned, 10 out of 10. So now that I've done green, pink, and a rainbow neon skull makeup, let me know what color you think I should try next. I'm feeling blue, purple, maybe a mix of both. Huge congratulations if you actually made it to the end of the video. Thank you, I love you, I'll see you in the next one.